welcome to another episode of Listen to Us Rant About Movies. I'm Wes Ford.
And I'm Zach Harris.
We rant about movies and drink while we do it. On this episode, we're going to be discussing what we've been watching, followed by a spoiler review of Godzilla, King of Monsters, and separate spoiler and non-spoiler rants on the new Jim Jarmusch film, The Dead Don't Die. Tonight, we are drinking not a beer. We are drinking a cider this time.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Zombie Killer. Very appropriate.
Very appropriate.
Wouldn't you say? Yeah. And it's from Michigan. It's a cider with honey and cherry added.
Very nice.
Let's give it a little sip.
Here's a go.
Cheers.
It's good.
I'm for it. I'm all for it.
Hell yeah.
That's a good drinkable cider right there.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Not too sweet, but like definitely sweet. I like it.
Yeah. I also like the size bottle that it came in.
Yeah, it comes in like, what is it? 500 milliliters.
Yeah.
So it's a good size bottle. It's the shape is nice.
It's like about what I'd want for a cider. You know what I mean? Look, give me a little,
exactly.
Give me a little more.
Get a little extra in
Don't
there.
give me too much. Don't give me too much.
Not too much. We're not talking about 2 bottles. I'm just talking about like 1.5. Just
1.5 bottles. Just 1.5 bottles.
All right. So before we get into what we've been watching, I'd like to remind you, Zach, about that deal. It's back. It's back again.
Deal? Which one? I've completely forgotten about this deal.
Well, if this is your first time on the podcast, or you've been here many times, we still like you to check out Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/LTURAM. You can choose from 180,000 titles from your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And if you like what you hear on this episode, remember, you can find other episodes of our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh. Woo.
Oh!
I don't know what we're doing now.
Listen to us make siren noises.
Yeah.
Changing the
that
direction.
Sounded like, so it was almost like a wolf at the end there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a sample of a wolf.
Yeah.
Anyways,
let's get into it. Zach, what you been watching, boy?
Not much. I can briefly say I rewatched Us and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, both on 4K Ultra HD.
Very nice.
And they looked fantastic. It was
nice.
They were very nice 4K discs, and I'd say that I probably felt exactly the same about both of them upon rewatch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even on Us, the second rewatch, or first rewatch.
Yeah.
Felt the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess maybe enjoyed it slightly more just because I knew it was coming. So it was very I feel like maybe I enjoyed it more, but I still have all the same problems. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
But I was like really enjoying the first half. I was just like, man, this thing is. I was watching it with my girlfriend who hadn't seen it, so she was like, she was like legitimately creeped out, and all the lights were off. It was fun,
Nice. It's a solid first half.
Oh yeah, it's killer.
I bet it looks good in 4K. I haven't seen the 4K version yet.
Fantastic 4K. I gotta say, it's great. It's looking very nice.
And that Spider-Verse, I have that one on 4K. I've seen it on that format, and yeah, it's
fucking killer.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
it looks great.
To the
Such
point
a good
where,
movie.
not snobbery, but Blu-ray you're good, but DVD, like, I feel like watching that movie on DVD, things are like literally lost. Like the textures are so fine. Like on all those text boxes, like when like text comes up, there's like the finest layer of like the red like print that is like so crisp, but I feel like you're losing that if you're like streaming it,
Oh yeah, I mean it would get connection. All. I could definitely see, like, especially near the end, not a spoiler or anything, but like when it has all the colors and
yeah, it's gonna be hard to compress that movie.
It seriously, there's just a lot going on. Like, it is on Netflix now, I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you have the 4K streaming, you can watch it there.
When did it come on Netflix? Do you know? Like, how long?
Just recently, I think. I think just recently.
Like before the 15th?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck. Just bought it, you know. But great, hey, I want it. I want it. But to buy it and then not watch it for like a month and then it comes on Netflix, it's like, God damn it. If only I just watched it if it came on today, beautiful. But now I have that thought, you know. Get over it.
I know.
Get over
it. Okay, well, glad you enjoyed those. I like both those movies. I'm gonna start with the most recent thing I watched. Was it yesterday or the day before? I caught up and watched the new HBO pilot of Euphoria.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of this?
I have. I've seen Seems like they've been pushing the previews pretty hard.
Yeah, I wasn't really gonna check it out, but I heard like a lot about it, so I was like just curious. I was like, yeah, it's a pilot. I'll check it out. I have really mixed feelings about it. Like I'm definitely interested, but it's hard to say that I like it because it's almost like a very stressful thing to watch. For many reasons. One, I feel really old watching it.
Yeah.
Because it's about like high schoolers, and I don't know. I feel really old seeing these kids like interact in like today's technology. It's like not what my high school experience was like at all. But also it makes me terrified to be a parent because of what these kids like get into. I would say it's kind of like the movie Kids on acid. And it's got and taking place in 2019.
Yeah.
And it's got a very Gaspar Noé like look to it. It's like kind of weird and trippy, and there's lots of like really nice like pretty lights and which it looks fantastic, and it's a very cinematic show.
Yeah.
Which those are definite things I like about it. And I'd say the performances are pretty good too, but it is a stressful thing because it's like just these kids that are like trying to deal with like living in suburbs in today's like society, and like the anxieties of dealing with that and social media, and all these kids are like getting heavily into drugs and like using Tinder and all these apps that like never existed when I was that age. Yeah. So it's really interesting. I do feel a little weird watching it, but also I am kind of interested to see where it goes because the performances are really nice. And Zendaya, she's like the main actress in the movie. She does a good job. So I don't know if any of that sounds interesting to you. It's worth checking out, even if you just want to watch the pilot. I think it's kind of fascinating.
30-minute, hour long. How long? Episodes?
Hour long.
Hour long. Okay. 10?
Hour long.
Do you
What's
know?
That?
Is there going to be 10, or do you know how long it is?
I don't know how many episodes. No.
Gotcha. Just curious.
Yeah. It's an hour long. I think the first one's like an hour and 5 minutes. But it moves along nicely. It needed to be that length. Yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd at least watch the first one and see how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Just watch that one, see how you feel.
Yeah. So
yeah, Euphoria.
Nice.
Yeah.
I watched a show that also is very pretty. I watched the first 3 of Too Old to Die Young, the Nicholas Winding Refn TV show.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to check that out. Is that available right now?
Yeah, it's out on Prime.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
4K looks pretty good.
What'd you think?
I'm very not sure about it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of exactly what I thought it was gonna be. Not what I had hoped, but like, what'd you get there?
I had like a bug on my sleeve there.
Oh, get that shit out of there.
What the fuck?
Didn't know if it was a spider. It's like, dude, if you need to go kill that spider right now, go for it.
I don't know what it wasn't a spider. Anyway,
okay, that's good. But yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it. It's parts of it are good and I really enjoy, and parts of it I feel like I've just seen before, like narratively. It's just like, okay, like kind of don't know. Big advocate of not needing to like your main character as a person, you know? I don't think people are like, they're not likable. It's like, well, they don't have to be likable to be like a protagonist, personally.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it gets to a point where it's like, I'm just watching everyone be a big piece of shit, you know? So everyone's terrible in it. So it's like, it gets a little draining. It's like very starting off with like a lot of like gross, just like people being real gross. And
really,
it's also every episode is a different length, but the first two were like, or the first one was 95 minutes. Second one was like an hour 20. Third one I think is similar. And they're all like over an hour, like to an hour and a half length. And then there's 10. And then the last one I think is really short. So it's very long. And I saw all these interviews with him, which I think this is a cool idea of just like, hey, the episodes don't need to be, why are we conforming to like these preset lengths that were made for TV when they're like, this isn't technically TV. So like, I get that and I'm in on that. But also when you say that the episodes have the flexibility to be however long they need to, and then I watch one and like, it could have been an hour shorter. It's just like maybe an hour is a stretch, but like it is incredibly indulgent in how slow it is. And I love slow moving stuff, but I just don't know if the actors are like selling the performances to make it feel like it's like a world, or like, I don't know. I just see the performances showing through. Like, I'm not really sold on Miles Teller yet. He kind of just like sounds like he's delivering lines like he would at a normal speed and then just stopping. It's like I want to see a super cut of like all the times that it holds on him for like 5 seconds and he goes, okay. You know, it's just like, yeah, okay. Like,
it's like deliberately slow.
Yeah,
like,
to the point where I feel like he's always someone that like I can see. I like picture him like looking in the back of the theater laughing at everyone while they like watch his movie. You know what I mean? Like he's like purposely trying to prod you a lot of the time. Like and some of that, it depends how like that gets played, you know, to see if I'm like into it or not. But it just seems like it's not necessary. Because, like, I there was a big complaint about Twin Peaks Season 3 being, like, really slow. And, like, oh, my God, like, what's... There's a whole scene of, like, the sweeping, you know what I mean? It's like, ugh. And, like, when's stuff gonna happen? But it's played in a different way where it's just, like... It feels like... Sometimes it just feels like a rough edit. Like, I paused the second episode and I was like, I'm 25 minutes into this episode. And I think there's been, like, 10 lines of dialogue and, like, 3 scenes. But they aren't like scenes of lots of things happening. It's just people talking. Like when there's things happening, I'm really liking it. But there's just so much dialogue of people sitting, and it's just like he told everyone to do it as slow as they could, and then left all the dead air between the dialogue. And it's just like, if you're gonna have this pace, I'm not interested in people sitting saying dialogue slow. That pace works when people are doing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll watch a shot of a guy walking for a long time, but I don't want to see a shot of a guy sitting about to say something for a long time. You know what I mean? It just kind of,
yeah. I get you. It's almost like, I mean, clearly he told the editor to slow down his, like a cut. Like, naturally, I feel like I would get that if without any direction, I'd be like, all right, snip, snip, snip. You know, like.
Yeah, totally.
because you want to drive the story along, it makes it more entertaining. But like if you're like purposely dragging that out, that's literally goes against like the common mechanics, like common core mechanics of like film.
Yeah. And it's like, if you want to use that in a way to like push people into a certain like headspace or like certain like rhythm while you're watching it, okay. But there's no, like, aside from just saying that, there's really no reason for this pace, because every now and again someone will pop in who doesn't quite fit the rhythm. And I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it really seems to be like performance based on who works and who doesn't. Like John Hawkes is in it, and I think he's really good in it. Like I like him a lot, but Miles Teller, I'm just like not buying the way that this is like working. You know what I mean? So I don't know yet. I know that they screened when it premiered, they showed episodes 4 and 5 together. That's like how they premiered it. So I was gonna at least give it to 5 because I wanted to see those, because apparently they're like, if he thinks that those are the ones to show out of context, at least, then like, okay, I'll wait till like it gets real good or whatever, and then maybe I'll be like all in, because I'm not out. It's just, it's super indulgent. It's just like a lot to get through, and I don't know how much I'm getting back from it, like, because it's not funny. It's not especially weird when these things are happening. It's just kind of like plot moving along really slow, and it's like there's like a weird scene where like two men like lit purple, like rubbing cocaine on each other, and I was like, okay, this is the scene to make like 5 minutes long if you have all the time in the world, not to make 30 seconds long in a transition and more people talking. You know what I mean? Right.
Like in Twin Peaks Revival, same kind of thing where it's dragging it out, but you have the weird, you have these interesting scenes to that are, there's a reason they're like being dragged out. You're still curious, you know, you're kind of like still in, even though it's still
a narrative happening. It's like, but
there's still narrative happening.
They're elongating the whole thing. They're not elongating like micro things, you know.
It's not indulgent in just, oh, I'm going to drag out this scene literally because we can. Like,
it's just like a 40-second shot of person like walking across a field to like walk up and say one word. It's like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, sure. You know,
I don't know, man. NWR hasn't been doing it for me lately.
That's the thing. And it's like, he's not helping his case. You know what I mean? There was I'll watch some of it, but like it starts with like hashtag by NWR presents or something. And I was like, God. I'm out. You know, like honestly, people were coming over to watch it, but if they weren't, I might have not watched it. You know what I mean? Just like, just like get the fuck out of here. And then I will say the score is incredible. And it also
he always has good scores, man. Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, Cliff Martinez is just a champ. Whatever that boy does.
Is he? Did Cliff Martinez do the show? Mm-hmm. Oh, almost worth watching just for that.
Yeah, so I went on like Spotify to find like I was like, oh, is the soundtrack out? I'd like to listen to the score, and because it's clearly the best part thus far, and it's just like it's like Too Old to Die Young, like the playlist, and it's just like presented by NWR, and it's just like New Order songs. It's like, cool, man, you like New Order, like you don't need to make a playlist to tell us like what music you like. Just put it in your show, you know. It's just annoying. He's like kind of annoying.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, he's getting pretty annoying now.
Just like sticking his dick in things that he doesn't need to.
Especially since like his Q&A that you were there at, like, and how indulgent he was there. It's like, dude,
came off like a huge douche. It's like, yeah, dude, real cool, man. When someone is trying that hard to be cool, it's like the biggest turnoff. It's like, you're the worst. You know? Like,
for sure. For sure. So all that being said, is it like, I've been wanting to check it out. Is it worth
I don't know yet.
Putting myself through?
I don't know yet. If I'll let you know after I watch 4 and 5, but I'm not like mad at it. I don't hate it, but it's just like, if it doesn't pick up soon, like I don't think I would finish it.
Yeah,
because it's like a full movie every time, which is a cool idea.
Right.
I like that it's bold, but it's also like, well, I could just watch 9 movies that I've been wanting to see. instead of watch the show, you know?
It's kind of the problem of the media oversaturation like we're in now, you know?
Gotta pick your battles, man.
You gotta pick your battles, and it's like I'm for things being long and like, you know what I mean? Like I'm for all this as long as I'm getting something out of it. You know, if I'm like pushing myself to get through something, why? You know, if I'm not getting anything out of it, why? Because I have literally 40 other things I could be watching right now, and that's just the times we live in. It's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just like that's reality, and it's like, again, I don't know. It's like a tough thing because it's like I know it's tough to make these things, but
so it's you don't want to write it off. It's like I'll give any show minimum 3 episodes, usually like 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, I do.
And then if I still
4.
don't like it, and it's like, okay, I'm just not in on this. This should have gotten me by now if I would have liked it, you know?
Yeah,
but I don't know. I can't watch one and then dip out and be like, nope, I'm out. You know?
Yeah,
it's hard for me.
I get you. All right. Well, all right. So that's too. What is it? Too young to die. What is it? Too old to die young.
Yeah.
Too old to die young. All right. Cool. Does that pretty much wrap your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for me, I'm sticking with HBO. I've been watching a lot of HBO lately.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most recent things too is Big Little Lies season 2 is out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, and if you've been listening to this show, you know I'm a very big fan of the first season. Really love the first season, and I'm liking the second season as well. There's 2 episodes out so far. Been watching them every Sunday, and it's great. It's great. I definitely got to that realization on the second episode. The second episode, it really pushes the narrative, and things that happened in the first season actually have consequences. Like actions that these characters have consequences, and I love that. That's good writing, you know? Like instead of things happening and then you forget about it, every single action that has happened has an effect, and so you're seeing those effects, and I think that's great. And I like seeing these people in these situations. It seems very realistic, and how they portray them. And the cast is just incredible. It's incredible. And they've brought in Meryl Streep now, who's just acting circles around these other amazing actors, Laura Dern, you know. It's incredible. And I definitely say it's worth checking out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you like the first season. And I'll just follow that up with another quick thing. Another HBO show. I watched the miniseries Chernobyl.
Nice. I watched the first one. I haven't watched any more yet.
Okay, I would definitely say catch up on it, because I watched the first one live when it came out, and then I didn't follow up for a while. And I kept hearing good things about it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish it. Only 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And I can say that I think it's a masterpiece for a miniseries.
I really want to watch it. I watched the first one, and my girlfriend was like, "You should have waited." So I'm waiting.
I gotcha.
But
yeah. I you should definitely put this one on like top of your list, dude, because it's really, really good. It's episode 4. I won't tell you what happens, but it's probably one of the most upsetting episodes of television I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I don't know what else to say other than that, but like it's it sounds like that's not very appetizing, but it's worth watching because of that. You know what I mean? Like it's something that I'll always remember. And this show is just the fact that it takes place in the past. It actually is very relative to today. Like in Trump's America, we know how where lies and government can like take us. And this is a look back at a time where something absolutely tragic. That could have gotten a lot worse. Could have been a global catastrophe. Luckily, a few men and women stopped that from happening, but they had to go against the government who were creating these lies and not admitting to the world the truth. And I don't know. I feel like that's something that is relative to 2019, you know?
For sure. So
for that reason alone, worth watching. It's amazingly shot. The tone is incredible. It's a really, really good miniseries. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, I need to finish it. I'm anxious too.
All right. You got anything else on your list?
Not really. I watched Vinegar Syndrome movie called The Children.
Yeah.
Which was like I guess ties right in, you know, radioactive plant of some kind. Like something, two like workers are supposed to check this like thing, and they just go, I don't want to go up there and check it again. Let's just go to the fucking bar, and then they leave. And all this green smoke starts coming out, and then this school bus is like driving down the road and like goes into the smoke. And then the kids never come home, so they all the parents are like out trying to find the kids, and then they slowly come home like all weird and covered in like soot and stuff. And they're like, "Mommy," you know, and the mom goes to hug them, and then they melt when they like hug the kids. So that was a movie. It's pretty fun for like what it is. A lot of these, you know, kind of like more budget like 70s 80s horror stuff. It's kind of a crapshoot for me. I know a lot of people like it for like the schlock factor, which those are always fun, but like I feel like sometimes they legitimately interesting, you know. And this one like they had a little something there. I was like, it had a little glimmer. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good for what it was.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, it was fun. That's about it.
I watched I got a couple more things if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Indulging in my combos, but I watched Dark Phoenix.
Nice. Poopy.
It's not as bad, I think, as like a lot of people have been saying. It's not the worst. It's not the worst X-Men movie.
Yeah, X-Men 3, right? Or Apocalypse.
I would say Apocalypse is worse than this movie.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it had some good stuff to it. There was some. I went in with really low expectations, but I was like, I want to watch it because I've seen all the other ones. I'm a fan of the other ones. And this is it's a franchise that has had both really, really lows, really bad lows, and some highs. You know, it's gone back and forth. I'd say mostly more highs than lows. Definitely better than Apocalypse, but not by much. It definitely has some big problems. But there's some good stuff in there. Like I like some of the battle stuff. Some of the set pieces are nice, and I think it gets past some of the problems we've had with the other ones, where it's like the same kind of thing with Magneto.
Yeah.
Okay, it gets past that. It's like, we know what this is. We know what that is. Let's just see these characters like interact. And I don't know. I think the actors really put their all into the parts.
Yeah.
And it just kind of sucks that there's like a big plot element that's not even in the trailer that is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it brings down the movie. So
I got you.
I don't know. It's not as bad as you would think, but it's not that great either. So,
for sure.
Another thing, I watched I Am Mother on Netflix.
I don't know that. Good sci-fi
movie.
What
Check
is
it out. It's on Netflix. It's called I Am Mother.
Oh, is it the like robot?
Yeah.
Basically,
this robot raises this young girl in this like vault, and you find out like where the other humans are and stuff. I think it's pretty decent. It has like a really good performances all around, and they use like a practical robot Nice. Like I think it's a person in a robot suit,
Mm.
but it's all real and it looks great. It like looks fantastic and way better than a CG robot would have done. So, good production design. I think the story gets kind of messy near the end, but it's worth watching, man. If you like sci-fi, check it out. It's pretty good.
Nice.
And last thing I'll talk about. Oh, this is a longer conversation probably, but I watched Black Mirror, the new season.
Oh, I watched that too.
Okay. Without spoilers, what'd you think?
There is fine.
It's fine, yeah. It's not like. I feel like there's like the last two seasons have been better for sure.
Just kind of seems like they're doing similar stuff. It's like new ideas of like similar thematic things, and then the new thematic things that they add, they don't really go into enough. I thought they got progressively worse, I would say. I liked the first one the most, than the second and the third one.
Yeah. I kind of float back and forth between the first and second being my favorite. I think now like the second one's my favorite, but yeah, I mean, I think it's still worth watching if you like the show. There's still some good stuff. There's like good ideas in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just like the execution's getting worse because, well, mainly it's the same writers. I think they need to get some new writers in there, get some new ideas flowing. You know, they're
I don't think
retreading
they will,
the same
though,
ground.
Isn't it the same writer for every episode of the show?
I think it's like the same couple writers.
Oh, okay.
There's like the the showrunner and like one of the main writers.
Because they're at least the showrunner person is at least involved in all like the ideas.
And that's fine. I just think maybe just get some more ideas in there. You know, like expand, get some talk to other people.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the first one was good. Didn't really go into stuff enough, but like had interesting ideas.
Yeah.
The second was maybe like more consistently good, but I saw like I just like knew everything pretty much that was like gonna happen. So,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
It's like, so now I'm just like watching it unfold, like what I thought you know what I mean? I could just like see everything coming, so it was like, all right.
I think on paper, and if you look back, it's like, nah, but it's like, I think the experience of going through it was intense, and like the performance was really good.
Yeah.
I thought I don't remember his name. He did a really good job. I don't know. Oh no! Again, it's fine.
Yeah, third one was too long,
and it got really like kind of silly.
I fell asleep during it. I guess.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't specify that. Probably the last like 15 minutes I didn't see, and I haven't finished it. So I think that says something about that.
I'd say it's at least worth seeing where it ends up, but yeah, it kind of like it's all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, I the whole dad plot is like why?
Yeah.
Just for this one payoff. I don't know. It seemed a little messy writing wise.
I'm not against also Miley Cyrus being in it. Like, sure, whatever.
No, me neither.
I didn't think she was very good in it though.
She was all right. Yeah. Ashley O. Ashley 2.
Yeah. Goofy.
All right. I guess that's gonna wrap up what we've been watching. A lot of stuff in there. But we're gonna move on to our forced films.
Yep.
Zach and I both watched our films. I gave Zach Paddington 2, and Zach gave me The Devils.
Yeah.
Zach, what'd you think of Paddington 2?
It was good. I don't know if I liked it more than the first one. I can't tell. Like, maybe.
Really?
I feel like I liked parts of it more, but I didn't think it felt like they like reverse engineered it to like have, I don't know, the story I guess felt really weird and kind of strange, but I don't know if it was that much different than the first. Maybe it was just too long between me watching them. But like some of the things that happened I liked more. Like I really like Brendan Gleeson and like all the like that's really fun. You know, they're all wearing pink and they all like cooking. I was like, I'm in on that. But it there didn't seem to be as much of like the goofy, like blundery. Like there's the one scene with the water where there's like the gag, the like physical gag of him on the rope and stuff. Seemed like there was a lot more stuff like that. Like it was kind of plotty at times. But I still really liked it. It was still super funny and just a delight.
It is a delight. I really like that movie. I like the style. It has like that Wes Anderson kind of style.
Yeah.
But it took more of that on, I think. And I don't know, I just felt it really hit my emotions, you know, like on multiple levels. And it's a pleasant watch, but also makes you feel a little sad at times. And
totally.
You just want Paddington to have a family.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's get this guy a family. This poor guy.
Yeah.
Gets locked up.
Such a little cutie.
For no reason. I know. And I just want orange marmalade like all the time.
I know, right? Seriously.
All right. Well, what would you rate that movie then?
Like a 4 probably. 3.5.
Okay.
I felt like I didn't necessarily like it less than the first one. I just didn't like it like a lot more, you know.
Okay.
But
I need to stop building things up.
No, it's okay.
All right, cool. So I watched Ken Russell's The Devils, 1971 film, very controversial film. I've had it downloaded onto like my external hard drive for like literally at least probably 10 years, but I've like, never watched it.
It's really funny.
Yeah, so so it gave me an excuse. I finally watched it. And wow, this movie. Interesting. Very interesting film.
A lot going on there, right?
A lot going on. I liked it though. It actually was it was different than I expected.
Yeah, totally.
But in a good way. I don't know. I kind of liked how it was. I guess I didn't know that much about it going in, and I read a little bit about it right before I watched it. I just knew it was like a controversial religious film. That's like all I knew.
Yeah.
But I kind of read up and I was like, oh, it's kind of based on like a couple of books that are like based on historical events. And so I find that pretty interesting. And yeah, I can see why it was controversial. You know?
Totally.
It's like, even for today's times, it's like pretty graphic, you know. But I'll eat up any like old movie like that, like any movie that's like that. I don't know, like it's like dark and like kind of is like I don't know. I like old religious movies too for some reason. So I definitely eat all that shit up, and so I was digging it. I liked where it went. I will say that I didn't watch the cut that I did watch. Missed one of the scenes. Okay,
which scene?
It missed the masturbatory bone.
Oh, you didn't get to see the bone.
She got the bone, but nothing happened.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, so that was cut out, but it did have the other controversial scene that like was apparently cut, which was like the rape of Jesus scene. So I did see that. That was interesting. I could it's just so crazy. I can imagine how people at the time like were probably reacting, but
yeah,
at the same time, it's like this was also during the sexual revolution. You know, so a lot of these types of films were coming out.
Totally.
Like nudity was just like people were experimenting with it. Very fascinating. Yeah, I liked it overall. It was just
good, right?
More of like I observed it as like a piece of history, you know?
Yeah, totally. Because it's has like a weird legacy behind it, and it is different than I thought. I guess it is graphic, but it's like a different type of graphic. Like it's not necessarily shocking visual. I mean, I guess it is, but like it's more like I could see people thinking of it being like dangerous conceptually. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like more on that side also that I wasn't expecting. So
right.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and I thought the lead actor he was really great.
Oliver Reed.
Really great. Yeah, Oliver Reed.
Love that boy.
He was really good in it.
So good.
I do wish, a slight criticism of the plot itself. I do wish we got to know the nun, was Sister Jeanne, the one who was like become obsessed with Oliver Reed's character. I wish we got to like see more of her and like develop kind of that obsession before she just like threw him into the pits, so to speak. Yeah. Because she kind of has that one vision, and we don't really get to know her yet. Like we see who she is. She's a nun. She has this vision, and then like it kind of focuses on Oliver Reed a lot from that point on, and then suddenly she's basically blaming him for witchcraft. So, other than that, definitely an interesting watch.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
I'd give it a 4. Give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I kind of watched it as like a piece of like cinematic film history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get
kind of fascinated in that respect. Yeah. Cool. So that's The Devils. And one more thing I'll say about it. Supposedly the guy who made it,
Ken Russell.
Yeah, Ken Russell. He was a very devout Catholic at the time when he made it.
Interesting.
And so he wasn't, against the church or anything. Like this was just him showing what can happen if the church can take over the government.
Yeah.
And it'd be a problem.
Yeah,
that's what happens. And like if you have religion take over law, it's like you got some problems there. So I respected that. Yeah, especially for someone who is a devout Catholic talking about Catholics to show like the extreme version of what his own religion can do.
Yeah,
mad props. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, we are going to move into our spoiler talk. All spoilers. This has been out for a bit, and it's also been a while since we've seen it, so we just want to talk openly about it. We're going to be talking about Godzilla, King of Monsters, starting right now.
Mothra, Rodan, Ghidorah.
Oh my. They're moving like a pack. They're hunting. They all respond directly to an alpha. We stop this Ghidorah. We stop them all.
Is there another creature that might stand a chance against him?
My God, Zilla.
So, yeah, like I said earlier, we it's been a few weeks since we saw this. Kind of a late review, but so it'll probably be pretty brief. And this is Godzilla, King of the Monsters, or King of the Monsters.
Okay.
With the in there. This is the sequel to the 2016 Godzilla film. What do you think, Zach? What can you remember? What do you feel?
I didn't dislike it as much as everyone else. I think I kind of enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
I thought it was a fucking piece of shit.
I didn't think it, I'll say I didn't think it was very good, but I didn't think it was that bad.
I walked out of the theater feeling the exact same way. And then I was like, it wasn't that great, but I thought it was very boring. Yeah. Very like dull and boring. Like I almost fell asleep in it. Yeah. I did. I almost fell asleep. It was like, for a movie about fucking monsters fighting, it's pretty boring. But I later came to think about some of the plot elements, and I was like, this movie's bad. This movie's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not good, but
the main thing that really just like bothers me so much is the fucking device that controls the monsters.
Oh, the Orca or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Orca. It's the Deus Ex Machina of the entire film. Like, doesn't explain how it's created. Just has this device. There's only one of them. You'd think they'd probably be like heavily guarded, but it's not. And it can just control the monsters. Oh, and apparently any monster on Earth, on the entire Earth, can hear the frequency.
That's my biggest problem with it, is that
it's really
it's
stupid.
like a briefcase, and then they'll like hear it on the other side of the globe. It's like, I don't think so. Because then why, when in the last Godzilla movie, wouldn't every monster show up when they're fighting?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also the whole, like, when they're trying to fix the device, it's like literally raining on the machine, and it's like pouring rain onto the machine, and they're like pulling wires, and there's like sparks, and they're just like putting wires together. It's just like, this is so ridiculous. This is just like, it's so obnoxious, like so bad. Just everything relying on this one device was just terrible. I don't know, it's the dialogue, the script. I just thought it was very, very bad. But I thought the cast was great. You have all this great talent in it.
Yeah. Which is weird, because I don't know what happened, because the guy, I like his movies. He did like Krampus and Trick or Treat. It's like, he's cool.
I like this. I do. I like those movies.
I didn't even know he did it until like I was about to go see it, and I was like, oh shit, he did this movie? All right. Then I got like really excited, and then it was like, oh, I don't all right. It just kind of, it didn't have a lot of character to it, which I think his other ones do. And
yeah. And I don't know, for a movie that I'm going there to see Godzilla fight monsters, for that to happen, I want to see that. And it was mostly not that. It was mostly a lot of characters. A lot of people talking.
I think it was a very equal amount of Godzilla to most Godzilla movies, I would say. Like, I didn't feel gypped out by the amount of monster fighting that much.
I didn't even think the choreography of the monster fighting was even good. It
wasn't great.
Even when you finally get to see monsters fight, there's like really close, tight up shots. Like, show me a wide shot. Let me fucking see these monsters fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that.
All
there
like
was a lot of there was a lot of like CG like masking of like, you know what I mean? Like texture layering in front of people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There's so many characters. We don't need all of these characters. Mm-hmm. So many human characters. I did think that Millie Bobby Brown, she did a good performance. I thought she was really good in it. I don't know, I really liked what she did. But also, like, what's the plot with her and her father? Like, she just decides to not like cross the bridge with him. Why?
Yeah, there were certain things like that I didn't understand, like motivations, where I was like, I don't get that. Like, what's that?
It's never explained. It's never explained. And then Vera Farmiga, right? That's her name. Yeah, she plays his wife and Millie Bobby Brown's mom. She like kind of like is like, yeah, this is good. We're gonna start anew. Earth will start anew. Let the monsters kind of, you know, create a new Earth for all of us.
Yeah.
And then kind of at the end, like, oops, actually, releasing all of the monsters at once was a bad idea.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. I didn't think it was good at all. I was really disappointed in the end. It's just like thinking back on everything. I don't know. I didn't think it was good at all.
Fair enough. I guess I just didn't think it was like that much worse than like any other major. I was no less disappointed than like pretty much like the vast majority of any major Hollywood blockbuster that I've seen. And I guess I just like Godzilla, so I don't care as much about, like, I don't have the connection to like superhero movies as much, or like some of like the major franchises that they're trying to like reboot, but I like Godzilla. So I guess for me it was just like, yeah, this isn't a good movie, but I feel like most of the movies in this caliber that I see I don't like, but I just have more of an affinity for like what's happening in this one. You know what I mean?
I feel you. I mean, yeah, I like Godzilla too.
Yeah.
But I thought like the Godzilla that preceded this one was like, I didn't think that movie was very good, but I thought it's like way better than this one.
I thought it was better than this one, but I wouldn't say it was like leaps and bounds better. It had even less Godzilla in that one, and more humans, and it was probably longer too.
But it had like, I don't know, the way it was written, the way the performances were there, created this like much bigger tension. Like it just like, it was more cinematic, revealing Godzilla. Like,
I think I was more annoyed with Aaron Taylor Johnson in the first one than I was with like anyone in this one. Just
no, that's fair. I didn't like him in that movie.
And they do it in this one, so I'm not saying this one's scot-free. But I am like, so like, my pet peeve with like giant monster movies, no human should touch their face in the movie. Please don't ever have that ever again. People waking up and then realizing that they're standing next to the eye of the monster. How?
Right.
Where are they? You know what I mean? Like, I think there was a moment we were watching the Roland Emmerich Godzilla, because I got that on 4K, which is very funny. But
oh my god.
it was $8. I was like, I'll buy that for $8.
Oh, okay.
And there's a part where there's like guys walking in a tunnel, and then Godzilla's eye opens, and like, whoa, and they're underground, and then he just like stands up, and there's just like a chasm, and it's like, they're in New York City. Where is this like giant mile-long chasm in the middle of underground where there's a tunnel to nowhere? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on here? And I feel like that was something that this one actually like they had like spots where they kept them, and they're like, you get the sense of scale when they're underground. You know what I mean? So then when they bust out, the sense of scale was there, I guess, basically. Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't think it was very good. Like, I'm not like championing it, but I heard like intensely negative reviews. So I guess I also had my expectations tempered, but I just like, I watched it and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, one saw a movie, fine. It was fun.
I get you. I just feel like it just was just very dull. That's my biggest thing. Like,
it didn't have a lot of character,
which is insane because you have like great actors in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of them were underutilized. And there's also a very terrible usage of one of the actresses. I think it's a callback to because there's twin characters in Mothra. And then there's that woman, and it cuts to her, and she's somewhere else. And then I was like, is that like implying that she's like the new version of like these twin characters? But like, they don't establish the other character, but they just show
there's
her.
Things like that,
and it was just like, wait, what? Like, that didn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a character who plays twins, but it's just like never. It's just like so unclear.
They like don't establish it, so it's just a weird thing. You're like, wait, how did she get here that fast? And it's there. Wait, is that a twin? Is this
why
the
make her a twin?
Yeah.
Why make the same person play a twin?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's so dumb. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh, I did like Mothra. Mothra was cool.
Yeah, Mothra was sweet.
I like some of the monsters, but
the score was like, also sweet. The score was cool.
Yeah, there are parts that I liked. But like at the end where, you know, Godzilla's fighting like the big bad monster,
King Ghidorah.
Like, yeah, and all these other monsters have been unleashed. They only come at the very end and then just like bow to him. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to see the like weird spider eyeball one. That guy would look weird.
Yeah, like if you're like having them unleash off Earth, like that you see them become like alive again, and then they like go off, and it's like that's it. That's all you see. It's like, okay, what do they do? You're establishing these monsters, but you're not even like using them.
Yeah, because I guess it's like, yeah, they can't. It's just like those ones are like lamer, so they can't get there as fast. Would be the only explanation, because it's like Godzilla swims under the ocean. They're like, oh, he's like rounding Australia or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, how did he get there? You know what I mean? And then obviously King Ghidorah or whatever can fly, but then it's like eyeball spider guy is probably just walking. But then it's also like, wouldn't there be just reports of like this giant eyeball spider like running around in like Africa or something trying to get there? And like, it just doesn't make any sense. And them trying, I will say the two most annoying things in the movie for sure for me were calling them Titans. Anytime they said Titan, I was like, oh, like stop saying Titan. I hate this. Or
it's like their like industry term for it now.
Or talking about King Kong or Skull Island. Like, one of them being Skull Island. And they would, like, try to slyly put it in, but it was, like, the most obvious, like, wink. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, we've received it from a number of places. Australia, Japan, Skull Island. It's like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? You're really blending that one in, so when we come back later, we'll notice that you tied it in.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
it's
my
like,
God,
come
so
on.
obvious.
So obvious. You're just, like, planting the seed for King. The thing is, it's like this felt like, it did feel like a bridge movie. Like, you haven't earned Godzilla fighting all the monsters yet. Just like have him fight one of the monsters now. Because the first one didn't really have any other monsters. It had like generic new monsters, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, why does this one have a bunch of the classic monsters? Just have one.
I agree.
And then
make it one.
King Kong, and if you really need to make King Kong versus Godzilla, who cares? Explain it in 5 minutes in the start of the movie. No one gives a shit. You know what I mean? They're there to see King Kong versus Godzilla. You just cut, and they're on a helicopter going to Skull Island. Like, I hear Godzilla's on his way. And they're like, oh yeah, he's also in this universe. All right, there you go. You know what I mean? Like, no one I feel like it is taking itself too seriously in a certain way. Where
it definitely is.
It just like no one cares. They're here, and also I feel like people are also though really harsh on the new Godzillas for their human characters, but also it's like if you watch the old Godzillas, it's not like the human stories are like the best parts of the movie. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. But at least if I'm getting shitty human parts, don't make it all about the fucking shitty human parts. Make it pay off with the monsters, which is why I'm here. I am here to watch Godzilla fight monsters.
No, for
and
sure.
I didn't even feel satisfied with that, you know?
No, I get that for sure. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I had another thing I forgot, though.
All that being said, I'm probably going to still go see King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, yeah. Like, I liked Godzilla.
I like monster movies.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be satisfied, you know? Like, don't make it boring. Show me what I want.
I would say I liked Godzilla King of Monsters more than Kong Skull Island.
No, I agree with that. I don't know. I did not like Skull Island at all.
Yeah, I thought Skull Island was like really.
I thought that movie was a piece of shit. Honestly, I thought that movie was like really shitty.
Yeah, it was not good.
I like John C. Reilly. That's about it.
Yeah,
you know,
it was really weird and not good. And it was like, what is this movie?
Was not good.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Like,
yeah, I agree. Like you said earlier, it's like, I guess I honestly just like didn't think about it much after I saw it. I went, oh yeah, that was fun, whatever. You know what I mean? So I feel like you can pull apart like everything that happens because like not a lot of it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Oh, but dude, so much does not.
I guess I enjoyed it while I was watching it, and that's like all I needed from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
well, hey, good for you.
Yeah. So
I didn't though. That's that's one of my problems.
I understand. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. Like I'm glad that you did get that out of it, but I think for me and unfortunately, like other people, like felt it was too dull or boring, and like I thought that way, and I didn't even think like, oh, like monsters are fighting right now, and like I was bored. That's like not a good feeling, you know.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's just earlier you said that when you left, you didn't think it was that bad. And when you thought about it more, you liked it less.
I left the theater knowing, like, I left the theater thinking, oh, it wasn't, like, terrible, but it wasn't very good, and I was bored. Like, I was bored throughout the movie. That was, like, my initial thoughts. When I thought about it, the plot elements, that's when I was like, the script is terrible. And I was like, you know, then I grew to, like, really dislike it from that point.
Okay. So what would you give it?
Anyway, I give it 1.5.
Wow. Okay. Probably give it 2.5. So, like, not that much more, but...
No, that seems about right for how you're describing it.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. Cool.
But Wes, before we get into our review of The Dead Don't Die, I'm going to remind you of what you reminded me earlier. Just to make sure that you don't forget.
I already forgot, Zach, so why don't you remind me?
Just a couple of fucking forgetful guys over here.
So forgetful.
For the listeners of the Listen to Us Rant About Movies podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day free trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. So to get your audiobook, go to audibletrial.com/LTURAM. That's audibletrial.com/LTURAM for your free audiobook.
Free audiobook. What? All right, let's get into our non-spoiler review of Jim Jarmusch's new film, The Dead Don't Die, starting right now.
What the hell was it? A wild animal?
This is really awful. Maybe the worst thing I've ever seen.
What was it, wild animals?
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking zombies.
What?
You know, the undead. Ghouls.
You look gorgeous. Oh my. Are you in this together?
Flesh-eating zombies.
Don't joke, it's really, really creepy.
Oh, man. This isn't gonna end well.
When I was a boy, I thought about...
They gravitate towards things they did when they were alive. Coffee.
Chardonnay.
Did she just say Chardonnay?
The peaceful town of Centerville finds itself battling a zombie horde as the dead start rising from their graves. This is directed by Jim Jarmusch, stars Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Tom Waits, and a bunch of people that I don't know if some should be spoiled or not. I guess it's in the trailer, but
Chloe Sevigny, Danny Glover, you got
Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover,
Tilda Swinton.
Yep. So, a lot of people in it. Zach, what did you think of the movie?
I was honestly pretty disappointed by it. I would say didn't care for it a whole lot.
I was really curious how you're gonna feel because I feel the same.
Yeah, I didn't really don't get like why he made it. Just like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of I'm disappointed that I don't like it, but also I've listened to a couple reviews of it, and some of the people that I usually respect seem to really like it, and I'm just like, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like a lot of it is because it's Jim Jarmusch. People are giving him more of a leeway and being like, well, he's trying to say this and that.
It's like,
I get that. I literally understand everything he's trying to say.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like, I understand he's trying to say something. He's yelling it really loud, and I hear him loud and clear. You know, like
exactly. There's no subtlety whatsoever, and I feel like there has to be like a skill and precision to that. Like I'm not saying that you have to like make it all about symbolism and everything. Like, I get it. Like, I literally get everything you're trying to say, but you don't have to knock my head over with the idea. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, why'd you make it?
It honestly, it felt like a first-time filmmaker movie.
It did.
And
Sadly.
and it's a movie that if it was a first time filmmaker and it was something that I just like caught at a festival, I'd be like, that was pretty fun. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like Jim Jarmusch is making this movie. His last movie was fucking incredible. It's one of his best movies. You know?
I agree.
It's like he was.
I agree.
Like I didn't care for Limits of Control that much, but like there was something there. I was like, okay, like I get it. I'm not loving it, but whatever. And then I feel like he's been building back up, and now it's like, come on, man. Like I just don't. It felt very. I don't know. I understand the concept of just like wanting to make something fun. That you're like, I just like want to make something fun and like not worry about it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fun.
Right.
You know? So
it wasn't even fun.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was even that funny. Like I don't think it was that funny.
I didn't think it was super funny, but I will say I did enjoy the first like 20-30 minutes. There were definitely moments where I was like, oof, don't know how I feel about that. But like Tom Waits in the beginning, I was like, he's also the best part of the movie, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Love Tom Waits in it, but and then I don't know, it just kind of, I don't think it knows what it is or like wanting. There's no goal of the movie. It seemed like the goal is that he could make it and just like get a bunch of cool people to be in it. So he was like, all right, cool. Like I like George Romero, and it's very unfocused.
Sorry.
No, it's just very unfocused. And by the end, I was like, what am I even watching? This feels very sloppy.
Yeah. Like it's trying to say many things. And I have no, it's just the funny thing is like, I literally have no questions about what it's about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the purpose behind some of the decisions of executing it in that way. You know what I mean? Like there are actual plot points that happen, we'll talk about later, and characters that, get to places but there's absolutely no explanation for it, and it doesn't tie to what the like themes of the movie are. Like it has no purpose, and it almost feels like a very wasted opportunity to have like all these people, and the trailer is so fun. Like I was pumped.
Yeah, totally.
I wanted, Jim Jarmusch making a zombie movie, you want it to be fun at least, but I didn't even think it was like that fun.
Or not fun. Like do what he did for Only Lovers, which is like, you know what I mean?
And I love that movie.
It's amazing.
It was like, I adore that movie.
It was a take on it. It's like, this is my take on vampires. I was like, fuck, he's making a vampire movie? That's boring as shit. I don't want to see a vampire movie. Why are you doing that, bud?
Right.
And then it came out, and I was like, oh, no, this is really good, and actually is doing a bunch of interesting stuff. But this is just like, it just seems like it's one of them with an idea that you get 1 second after you see it happen. And then it just keeps happening. Like, a zombie with a cell phone saying, like, Siri is, like, what are you putting in here, bud? Like, I knew you've changed a little bit when you had bulldog reaction joke, like, shots in Patterson, but I loved the bulldog reaction shots. Like, this guy is doing some great goofy bulldog stuff in this movie. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't expect that. And, like, it's very nice. But it just, I don't know. It's just, like, seems like, it's like, does he have a kid that, like, he like made it with? You know what I mean? It just felt really weird. Like him
it
referencing
really
the car after it's like, I knew the second I saw it that it was the same car as Night of the Living Dead, and then it's just like, cool car, and it's like yeah blah blah blah, and then she's like, Selena Gomez, like, your film knowledge is very impressive. It was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what am I watching? What am I watching here?
He keeps referencing George Romero. It's like, clearly, that's inspiration. I get it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't amount to anything other than that. And, man, I don't know. I feel like it was very messy. Just not very well executed. It felt like a low budget in a really bad way. Like low budget film, like
where I was like, oh, the movie's over now. Okay. You know, I was like,
One thing I did like was I did like how he creates the zombies.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the world behind that, and like his version of like how these came about. It's like, I mean, we could just say one of the themes of the movie is like, mild spoiler, I guess, but it's about like global warming mainly. Global warming and polar fracking. And so this has shifted the Earth's rotation in such a way to where a lot of strange things are happening, and one of them is like it creates zombies. Like, okay, that's interesting. It's a different take on it. I get that. So I was in for that, but just like it never amounts to anything. It's also very meta in like a weird bad way.
Yeah,
it's just
the
like
meta
sometimes it's meta, sometimes it's not. It's like, what?
Did not care for the meta stuff. The first one was okay, and then any other time it got brought up, get it out of here. It's like
it was just bad. It was bad.
I like everyone knowing exactly why the zombies are there. Like there's certain ideas that I think are funny that just like aren't executed in the right way. Like everyone saying, like explaining it fully is like a funny concept. It's like, the zombies are here because of the position of the sun, because of the polar fracking and the Earth's off its axis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just never comes off authentically. And
Right.
one thing I think they did get right is that the town felt good. Like it felt like a real place. Like it felt like my parents used to live in upstate New York, and it felt like being around there. Like I liked that aspect, but it didn't seem. Some of the people in it didn't seem real, you know.
Yeah.
So when you're going for this kind of like real vibe, and everyone's also being kind of cartoony, some of it just like didn't mesh with, like Tilda Swinton, very split on her character. Thought parts of her character were extremely funny, and parts were just like the worst part of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. Yeah. She's good in it. Like the actors are good, but I guess the way it's directed, the setting, it also felt like it was these people. It looked like it was like people playing dress up. They're like they're actors being actors.
Yeah.
Because they're like it didn't fit, and there's just like
the first.
If you want this kind of real grungy type feel, make it like grunge it up a little bit. You know, like have. Some of the people just did not fit. It was very strange.
Like the first zombie you see is Iggy Pop, and you're just like, oh, it's like I literally heard someone in the theater lean over and go, "Hey, Iggy Pop." It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
obviously.
You're just like sitting there watching. You're like, "Yep, Iggy Pop is a zombie," and then he walks up and he goes, "Coffee," and you go, "Yep, all right, yeah, coffee and cigarettes, sure." Like Jim loves coffee, so does Iggy Pop. It's like, okay, sure, all right. You know what I mean?
All right. And I guess, do you want to wrap up any non-spoiler thoughts?
Not really. The score was okay, and it looked okay. I liked aspects of it. I thought Adam Driver was really good. Certain things I thought were really funny, and the third act is like terrible, and then
absolutely terrible. Yeah. I guess one more non-spoiler thing I'll say is, and I saw this with my wife. She thought it was like very, very, very slow, and I will say for me, I didn't mind that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't mind the slow pace. It's what happens within that pacing.
Yeah. That
I thought was just not good at all, and we'll talk about that in our spoiler section, which is going to start right now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to my world, zombies.
I've been telling you this is all going to end badly.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm quite confident of my ability to defend myself against the undead.
I can see that.
Excuse me. Those are some pretty good cuts. You played some minor league ball, didn't you? Well, a little class A. It was a long time ago.
Where do we start?
I guess for me, the worst part is when it's like Adam Driver and Bill Murray dying and killing all the zombies. I really don't get what the goal is there. Like, is he going for, it felt like it was almost like a weird, like giving, it's like, well, this is what you came for here, huh? You know what I mean? Like, here you go. Like, everyone came for the zombie movie. This like weird meta thing where it's like, now we're going to give you what you really want. And it's like, no, Jim, what I really want is just like shots of people walking around and like, you know, like doing stuff, man, you know, like, like wide shots of three people talking is what I want, Jim, you know? And, it just was it. And the worst part is when it's doing that, it's not even good. It's not even I know. It's like, not only is this what no one wanted, it's just like not executed well. It feels really weird. The score is strange. And it's like weird post slowdown of them just like shooting. And then there's the Tom Waits narration where it's like, wait, what? Oh, the movie's ending. Okay. And then it's just over. And I don't really. I
will tell you the part with Tom Waits. I like Tom Waits in it, but his whole thing at the end, where it literally hits you over the fucking head with the concept, drives me up a wall. The part where he's like, "Oh, we're all just zombies crawling around and living. You know, we're all just been zombies." It's like, oh my god,
I've seen some zombies even before this happened. It's like, yes, everyone has.
We've all been, and as you see, we've been zombies all along. We're all just on our phones and technology, and it's just like, oh, dude, this is. I get what you're trying to say. I get it. But oh my god, can't you do it any more with any more subtlety or any more class, any more skill? Like it's so poorly executed in my opinion.
Yeah, I really don't understand. It's probably his worst movie, I would say.
I think so. Yeah. I think it is.
It's weird. I was not expecting it to be to dislike it that much.
I'm really happy we're agreeing on this because I was kind of scared that we might have to have some arguments here.
No.
Because I thought it could have gone either way for you. But yeah, like I really was trying to be positive through the whole thing. I was like, you know, like the whole movie, it was like something I was like, not feeling, but I was like, it's gonna come. It's gonna get there. And then the third act is just god awful.
Yeah, and like Tilda Swinton has a samurai sword, and it's like
what is her character?
It literally makes me feel like it's like, does Jim Jarmusch have a 7th grade son who he like made this movie for? You know what I mean?
Literally, what happened here?
Yeah, because Tilda Swinton having a samurai sword and a kid who works at a gas station who's a nerd and like a cute girl likes him because he likes horror movies sounds like something a 7th grader would write.
Absolutely.
Because I thought about that's the stuff that I was, you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Yeah, and it's like everyone does that, but and I'm not saying that like it's not okay for him to make something like that. It's just I don't get it. I fully understand it. 100%. But I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like I don't
like we understand what you're going for, but why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you decide to do it? Why did you decide to do it in this way? It literally feels like something that there are better student films that could come out of that. You know, like it's that bad. And I just don't understand the decisions. So again, about her character, she is a Scottish woman, new in town, who is part of the owning this morgue.
Yep.
She runs this morgue, but she's really into like Japanese culture and being a samurai. And then at the very end, you get that she's been acting strange, and I was kind of guessing that. I literally was like, she's acting like a fucking alien.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she is an alien. She goes up into this field, and a UFO picks her up and takes off. Why does that happen?
Yeah.
What does that...
It's just like seems like a weird, just like that. Oh yeah, it's just like a random gag. It's like, okay, well, sure, fine. You know, like...
And here's another thing about plot not really paying off is those kids we haven't really
they just
about.
run
the
away.
Juvenile kids.
They go, over here it looks safe, and you never see them again the rest of the movie.
You're like, oh, we keep seeing these kids. What's going to come out of this? What's going to... Okay.
The kids are some of the best
Are they going to
parts.
fight the zombies? Yeah. They understand what's going on. They're scared. Yeah, that's actually some of the best character stuff in the whole movie. And then they escape the juvenile detention area, which honestly doesn't make... I don't think it makes sense in this town.
Yeah.
They don't fit in the town, in my opinion. But they're good in it, and I like where they're going with it. And they escape, and it's like, okay, how are these kids going to handle the situation? They run away, and we never see them again.
Very weird.
Why?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of showing them at all?
Yeah, I don't really get it. I feel like I would have liked the movie more if there were just no zombies, and everyone just kept talking about that there was going to be a zombie apocalypse. It's just I don't like. I like the best part was when they were going around setting up all the characters. I was enjoying it. Like I said, there were moments where it was like but
I agree. I was really like with it in the beginning, you know, like I was like, yeah, like you said, a couple things that were like, not feeling this, but I'm with you. You. And then it just never amounts to anything.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
More characters that are set up. Selena Gomez and the two boys she's with.
They just die, and you're just like, okay.
Okay. Her character seems completely unrealistic. Okay. And she's just with these boys traveling because they're hipsters. That's what's explained, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just
like the weird scene of all three of them just like oogling her when she like walks by.
Yeah,
like,
that's weird too.
What's
it's like,
this?
Oh, so these older men staring at this young girl. Why?
Yeah, like why is this in the movie? It's not funny, really.
Why is this in the movie?
Yeah,
it's not funny. Are you just saying it was just like a Selena Gomez is hot thing? Like, what is this?
Yeah,
what is happening?
Which is a funny thing because Sean brought to my attention that Jim Jarmusch likes all of Selena Gomez's Instagram posts, or like the vast majority of them. Kind of weird.
So maybe he's just like creeping on her.
Well, he was just like, he's gone soft. He's gone soft.
Oh man,
it's weird, man.
It's just a really big disappointment, dude.
Yeah, totally. And the thing is, I feel like it wouldn't be a big disappointment if he made a movie every year. If it was like if he was like a Soderbergh and it was just like, all right, well, in 6 months maybe the one he makes then will be better.
Because he's constantly pumping out content, you know.
But he when did Patterson come out? Like 3-4 years ago?
I feel like it was 3 years ago.
So if you're taking that long, which is fine to take that long, it's just like I feel like you gotta you gotta be better, you know, because it's just gotta wait so long for the next one. Your
name has a legacy, man, you know. And and it's also like I get it, you know. It's like film, like again, films they're hard to make, man. But like, it's almost it's intentionally bad at times. Yeah. It is. It's intentionally bad at times.
Mm-hmm.
But there's got to be there's got to be like a reason for that. It's like, I don't know. We've seen what you can do. We know you can do better, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just a really big disappointment to see it just like intentionally bad, and it's just bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's
like what is it, like Posey Juarez or whatever? Rosie Perez on the news. Okay. Woo PS.
Oh yeah, like what?
And Woo PS.
Okay.
Like with RZA. It's like I don't need Woo PS, man. I don't need it. You know, like,
oh yeah, the Woo PS. Why?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. And the meta thing. Let's talk more about that.
Yeah.
So
first time, okay. But the running...
It's like, oh, the theme song. It's like, oh, it's going to go like that.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They just play the same song over and over and over again.
Yeah.
This artist. Oh, I love this song.
Yeah.
I love this song.
It's just...
Too much.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was him, like, getting stoned and listening to that song and being like, I should make a zombie movie. It's like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it all it seems like it all sprung from that, most likely, you know? It's just like a weird, yeah, it's a cool song, man.
I'm gonna do a zombie movie and they're not really gonna like ever fight the zombies till the very end, you know? And then they're just gonna die.
That's not even...
Why would they do that?
That's not even my problem with it, though. Like, I kind of expected that. It was just the fact that, like, it was so obvious, but also so unfocused. Like,
yeah.
It just, so like, unfocused. Screamed everything it was trying to do, and then also, like, but, like, didn't make any sense. And you're just like, wait, what? And then it's just seems like it's supposed to be like, it's just a fun thing. I don't know, it's just me and Rosie joking around on set. Posey Juarez, you know? It's like, yeah, but, like, it's not fun, though, because you're Jim. You make really slow movies that are weird, and everyone likes them. Right. And I'm not saying that he can't do something different, but, like, I guess it was a fail. I would say it was a failed experiment. If he was trying to do that, it's just like, you failed, bud. It's not very good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well said. It's just like, that's literally what describes the movie. And what about the meta thing at the very end too?
Too much.
Like near the end.
Too much.
It's just like, what is this amounting to? What is this trying to say? Like,
it felt...
Oh yeah, I know Jim. I know Jim. It's like, if you want to go the meta way, okay, but like, that's it. That's all you get out of it.
It just seemed like he didn't really have like a fully realized idea for the movie, and then was like, I'll just like experiment with some meta stuff. It's like, that's funny. It seemed like everything was like just like little things where he's like, that's funny, but like it never came together to like make a movie. It was just like a bunch of little things that he thought were funny. You know what I mean? It was never like a fully realized idea aside from just like, yeah, we're all zombies. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Which is also just like something that's been clearly done. The difference is that now they're holding cell phones. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, that also with the zombies walking around is so on the nose, like,
yeah,
Siri,
yeah,
Candy. It's like
fashion,
clearly
fashion.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I get it, man.
We're all zombies. Yeah, it's like so it's just so obvious. You know?
Yeah,
it's like it,
and it's not even once again, it's just not even like that like original of a concept. It's literally
exactly.
It's like Dawn of the Dead. It's like the movie that you're like, or not. It's the sequel to
the one that you're referencing.
Yeah, you're literally referencing this guy, and he just like already did it way better, like 40, 50 years ago. So like, why are you doing it, dude? You know what I mean? Like, you're not adding anything except for like a bunch of meta jokes. And
it's like
I get if people, like I said earlier about the thing about it being one of his movies, like, I understand, like, people thinking it's fun. Just be like, yeah, it was fun, whatever. But it's just such a disappointment coming from him. Like, if this was a different filmmaker, it'd be like, okay, sure. But I guess I expected way more from it.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. And I to be honest with you, I didn't even, like, go on thinking, like, oh, this is going to be amazing. You know, like,
yeah,
I thought, you know, it clearly looked like it'd be like a comedy, like fun, you know, something, whatever. But coming off of Patterson, coming off of Only Lovers Left Alive.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite movies of his, honestly. And those are recent.
They're killer.
Like, they're killer, man. I love those movies. And I don't know, man. It doesn't even feel like the same filmmaker.
Yeah. It's weird.
All right, well, I think that pretty much wraps up our thoughts. I think we clearly didn't like it very much. We were disappointed. So, what are you going to rate it?
Probably 2.5.
2.5, really?
Maybe 2.
Even with, I'm giving it 2. I think 2 sounds right.
I feel like it's made me more upset the more I've thought about it. Like after I left, I was like in denial, just like, yeah, well, it was fun. Like the ending was bad, but like I enjoyed some of the stuff earlier, and then I'm like, yeah, but like I also hated when they said Siri, and I also hated when he said that, and like also that part was really bad, and it's like, yeah, it's like bad, you know, like it's not very good.
Yeah, I really tried to, I had to like process it a bit too. Like when I left, I didn't walk out being like, yeah, I had to think about it, but yeah, I kind of landed on just like, yeah, it wasn't that good. I think I'm thinking sticking to 2 stars because, like I said, there were some things that I liked. Like it's not literally like the worst movie I've ever seen. Like, no. And I don't hate the movie. Like I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But like I'm very just like disappointed, and it doesn't seem like it's just like skillfully made, and I don't understand just some of the decisions, like very chosen decisions.
Yeah.
Why they were made. Like why did you choose to do that? Because it amounted to nothing.
Yeah,
and so
it helped your movie in no way. So why was it in it?
It did nothing for the overall film. Yeah. So I give it 2 stars.
Yeah. Probably the same.
Okay. All right, well, that's our that's our episode. 2 bummer movies, I guess.
Yeah.
So as always, you can find other episodes of this podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And if you enjoy the show, please consider leaving a review on iTunes, because every rating brings us more listeners. You can listen, or you can email us at listentousrantaboutmovies.com you can email us at listentousrantaboutmovies@gmail.com. Woo! Daddy's out of it.
Thank you. You got it. Thank you to our Patreon producer, Sean Pierce, and our other Patreon supporters. You too can be a producer and or supporter of this podcast by visiting our Patreon page and becoming a monthly patron for as little as $1. You can visit www.patreon.com/LTURAM podcast. That's going to do it for tonight. And Zach?
Wes?
Good talking to you, and I hope our summer gets better.
I know,
I'm looking forward to Midsummer.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be a good one.
We'll definitely review that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Zach.
All right, man.
You take care.
Take care.